My name is Huria Tahiri, and I'm a senior at Elon. I'm majoring in computer science with minors in GIS and data science. At Elon, I'm the president for Women in Computer Science and Caravan Club, and also I work as an intern for the Office of Sustainability and Cybersecurity team. Before I share the details of tonight's event and introduce our speaker, I would like to take a moment for a land acknowledgement. Elon University's land is the traditional and ceded territory of indigenous people and nations, including Innu, Tutelo, Shakuri, Sapuni, and Okinachi people. We honor and respect the diverse indigenous people still connected to this land. Additionally, this land has been borne witness to over 400 years of the enslavement, torture, and systematic mistreatment of African people and their descendants. Knowing and critically examining our history and how the collective we got here is vital for understanding our current reality as well as functioning as an initial step to the process of healing the deep wounds of our shared history. Now, I'm honored to introduce Dr. Habiba Sarabi, a pharmacist, politician, and reformer of the post-Taliban era in Afghanistan. In 2005, she was appointed as the governor of Bamiyan province, becoming the first woman ever to be provincial governor in the country. Dr. Sarabi served as Minister of Women's Affairs from 2002 to 2004. During the Taliban days in 1990s, she worked as women's rights and education activist and taught girls and women in refugee camp in Pakistan. She joined Dr. Zulmay Rasool's ticket as vice president in 2014 presidential election and was the most prominent woman running in that year's election. Upon formation of the National Unity Government, Dr. Sarabi served as advisor on women and youth to Dr. Abdullah, the chief executive of Afghanistan. She was later appointed as deputy to Afghanistan High Peace Council in 2016. Habiba Sarabi won the prestigious Roman Magsaysay Award in 2013 for her work in good governance and girls' education. She was awarded the N Peace Prize in 2016 for her unrelenting work for bringing peace to Afghanistan, while ensuring attention on gender equality and women's empowerment. Dr. Habiba Sarabi was member of Afghanistan government peace negotiation term with the Taliban. Currently, she is a member of the steering committee at Women Forum on Afghanistan, WFA. I'm beyond excited to hear Dr. Sarabi discuss how we can engage and more effectively as an individual in one of the big challenges women and humanity has faced. I would like to thank Dr. Sarabi for taking the time to speak to the Elon community, and we are excited to hear the knowledge she has to share. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Habiba Sarabi.
Very good afternoon to everyone, and a warm salam. We, in our own language, when we greeting someone, we say salam. A warm salam to all of you. Thank you for being with us here today, and thank you for making this opportunity to talk with you and share my own experience and information, especially on the topic of education and the role of education for women's rights and in Afghanistan, which is not only my personal interest, but it is entire the country, and globally it's very important to talk about education and how the education can change the life, and education actually is giving dignity and also privilege to the nation. So this is very important. So let me to talk a little bit about my own experience, that how education changed my life and my family's life. So I came from a middle-class background. That my mother was illiterate and she couldn't read and write, and she could only recite Holy Quran, But or my Muslim fellow knows that Quran is mostly writing with phonetic. Because of that, it's much more easier to read Quran. But with the literature, it is a little bit difficult to read and write without education, to read and write Farsi. So my mother couldn't read and write, but on her age, on her time, when women got married, mostly she was not able to visit her family oftenly. Even sometimes they were not allowed to visit the family. My mother was living in a different province from her parents' province, so it was long way to reach to the family. Mostly my uncle, my mother's brother, was writing a letter to her. My mother had a dream that if I or her daughter can be literate or can get education, if she can read and write, and to read the letter that she is getting from her brothers. It was her dream. But of course, that dream gave me motivation to study more, to work hard. So, but unfortunately, she was not able to see all my success. And I lost my mother at a very early age, in the teen age, when I was 13. So this is my mother generation. When it comes to my generation, so of course, we were able to go to school, and there was freedom to go to school, and everyone could go to the specific subject that she or he wants to do it. So I have 3 children. This is the 3 generation that I'm speaking: my mother generation, myself, and my children generation. I have 3 children, and 1 daughter and 2 sons. My daughter is economist. She is Fulbrighter, and she, of course, she got 1 degree from Germany, the other degree from United States. She was the deputy minister of finance, and was able to fundraise for the development project in Afghanistan. Even the Taliban could get benefit from that on the rural area. So this is the value of education. So my son is medical doctor, and he will join very soon for the residency in some place in West Virginia, some hospital. And the 3rd child is the architecture. When I'm saying that, this is the value of education, that how education is changing the life of the people. So if I go through the history in Afghanistan, so I want to start or highlight the 90 decades. On 1991, the civil war started in Afghanistan. And the different militant Mujahideen group started to fight with each other, and the conflict going on in Afghanistan. At the end of that conflict or civil war, from different militant group, people came together, and they called themselves the Taliban movement. So at the end of civil war, actually the Taliban movement got the power in 1996. So when they got the power, the first thing that they did, they stopped women to go to work. They stopped girls go to school, and all the schools were banned for education, except of course boys could go, but only boys. And the curriculum, I'm not I don't want to talk a lot about the curricula that they were applying. So girls or women were deprived from all part of society, and they were actually totally erased from the public. So they were at home. But of course, because it was after the Civil War, the number of activists, the number of people that they wanted to stand against the Taliban, they were very few. And some few people, of course, stayed and remained in Afghanistan, I mean educated people. But some of them, they left Afghanistan. For example, myself, because of my daughter's education, I left Afghanistan and went to Pakistan. And I stayed in Pakistan for some times, and of course, provide opportunity for my children to go to school and get education, and also did some activity or advocacy program for women inside Afghanistan, around European country, and so. So after Taliban, in 2001, after the September 11th, so the new era will come. So with the new era, of course, there were a lot of motivation for education. School were open, and women got to get to work, and also girls went to school, and the number of girls going to school every day were getting higher and higher. And the biggest thing that happened during the Republic era was having the constitution. The constitution in Afghanistan was one of the best constitution, I think, in the region, because according to constitution, we had the equal rights on the Article 16 of constitution. We had the equal rights between men and women. So that gives a lot of opportunity and chance for women to promote themselves. There was a quota system for women to get to the parliament. So that's why we had 26% of women in our parliament, parliament was also a kind of an institute, an educational institute for women, that they could speak, they could raise their voice, they could show their talent and advocate for other women. So the Ministry of Women Affairs established, and also Independent Human Rights Commission for Afghanistan. These two organizations was the organization that, of course, made a lot of opportunity for women they could go and raise their voice and also share their problem if they face some violence or something they were facing with, these two institutions could tackle with their problem. So these were the two organizations. But of course, being in charge with the Ministry of Women's Affairs, it was also a challenging time for me because during the Taliban era, so women couldn't go to school or girls couldn't go to school. We were facing with the lack of the professional people that they could work as a civil servant. So it was really a big problem. I can share one example of my experience with you. When I was the Minister of Women Affairs, we wanted to, of course, have different branch. For each province, we wanted to have a branch or the Directorate of Women's Affairs. And there should be a woman supposed to work with that directorate. We wanted a woman to become the director of women's affairs on the provincial level. But of course, we had some criteria for that to be. For example, that person could be postgraduated. But lately, we understood that it is difficult to find women to be postgraduated, a young educated woman to be postgraduated and to work in a very remote area. This is really, it was a difficult time. So that's why we created another terms of reference and another criteria, or reform our criteria that the other people could be, fit with that. So there were many people that they returned back from Pakistan and Iran. At least they studied up to 12th grade, and we could hire them as a director of Women Affairs. I am sharing another story from my work experience. When I was governor, I used to go to the rural area, to the district level a lot, and to visit the people and to listen them. And if there is a problem, they can share their problem with me. So one of my trip to one of the poorest area, my Afghan fellow knows that called Yakaulang. So with the support of PRT means Provincial Reconstruction Team. During the 20 years of NATO presence in Afghanistan, each country had a PRT in different provinces. Our PRT was from New Zealand. So the New Zealander people are very, very kind, as Huriajan shared about this native people. They also have the native people, Maori, with them, and they are respecting a lot the culture of the people. So the PRT team was also with me, and they had they collected some aid for the people to hand over that poor people. I recognized during our visit, that the people were sharing their story with me, that during the winter time, it is very, very tough for them to take the patient, the woman, the lady that who is delivering, to take her to the hospital or to the clinic. There was not hospital at the very nearby, but there were some basic health center nearby. So they said that a girl, she was sitting close to me, she said that, you know, that during the winter when some problem happening to the mother, we are burying the mother and child together. Can you believe that? With the 21st century that people can do like that? But it was a reality. Because there was no midwife, there was no any nurse, there was no any basic clinic, and the place was very, very remote. So I was looking for someone that at least if she could study up to 9th grade, so I can take her to the midwifery school. We had a good midwifery school in Bamiyan Center, supported by USAID and implemented by Aga Khan Foundation. You may know the Aga Khan Foundation is a big foundation working with the many places, especially in the remote area. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't find any girl that she could study up to 9th grade. So again, I come down and made the criteria for 6th grade. And finally, I could find a girl that she was studied in Iran up to 6th grade, and I took her to the midwifery school, and also there was a dormitory for them. And after 3 years, she became the midwife and could support the people and the community. So the situation was like that. I'm talking about this professional cadre or professional civil servant, that how they can help the people, because during the Taliban, because of all the school were closed and women couldn't go to work and to study, that's why we were facing with the shortage of professional civil servant. But there were hope during the Republic area. The hope was great because there were opportunity for girls and women to go to school, to go for higher education. The government of Afghanistan, there were some countries that offering scholarship for the government of Afghanistan, for example, from India, Bangladesh, Kazakhstan, and some European country, of course, from United States, and hundreds of young girls. They had a lot of enthusiasm to go to benefit from that scholarship, and you can see the example of them among you, Huria John and Shakila John. But Huria John is from that part that I think applied for Ellen University, and Mitra John is here. So like them, there are hundreds of young girls that they had this opportunity to go abroad and got education. And the last part of the last time of the Republic era, we had very, very young and educated, high educated, as on the level of post-graduation, master degree, and PhD on the among the civil servant and the government. We had 11 young deputy minister on the civil servant before the collapse. So these were the opportunity that were ready for the Afghan people. Of course, there were so many mistakes, there were so many challenges, but if things could go on the right direction, this challenge could be, resolved. But unfortunately, after collapse, everything just collapsed. The people of Afghanistan collapsed. Not only the people of Afghanistan, but this failure of international community and the people of Afghanistan together, because the United States, my apologies if I'm so outspoken for that and very direct. With more than 40 NATO countries at the top on the leadership of United States, they have been for a long time in Afghanistan. For 20 years, they fought against the Taliban. They wanted Afghanistan become a good place for the people, and for not only for its people, for the neighboring country, and for the world. But it was failed. So you have been put a lot of efforts on that. You have been put a lot of resource, the money, and also human resource. So I salute the mothers of the soldiers that they have lost their dears over there in Afghanistan. So I was the governor in Bamyan. Whenever the coffin of the soldier was taking up from the airport and wanted to get back to their home country, New Zealand, I was so upset. I was so, embarrassed that why, these young people are coming here to protect us, to serve us, but they are dying here because of this terrorist group. So, but what happened at the end? At the end, again, this terrorist group, this extremist group, again got the power because of our mistake, because of our leaders' mistake, because of our policymaker mistake. So if we can continue, we can continue the mistake, and things cannot be changed in Afghanistan. And it's, that now, so again, Taliban are enforcing all their rule and regulation to Afghan people and Afghan women. So, of course, the women now is, and awareness and education situation, they are a little bit better than at 90s. because they have studied during 20 years. When the Taliban took power after collapse on August 2021, so women started to demonstrate. Women started to protest against Taliban. We want freedom. We want to go to school. We want to go to work. But the Taliban didn't listen to them. The Taliban arrest them, put them in jail, torture them. So they are, of course, there are so many, horrible story from those young women protesters that they, they were arrested by Taliban. Some of them even they are in European country. So I don't know that if some of you have heard about the People Tribunal. Some of our strong and brave women, that they made a kind of program that bringing the victim to the place, and they are giving testimony of what happened to them. And there are some judges, and they are listening to them, and after that, judging to them. So it happened, I cannot remember the month, but some months ago, and in Spain, in Madrid. And the latest one will happen, I think, in Geneva or somewhere. So these women, I think 5 or 6 women, they had the testimony. So even the judges were not able to listen to them. So because their story was so horrible. So this is the situation that Taliban is enforcing every day. On the 5th of January, the Supreme Leader of Taliban issued another decree or another regulation for crime in the court that it's really, I have sent the link to some of the article that it was written about that to Huriya John, and that article published in the Georgetown University WPS, or Women, Peace and Security website, and also with the Princeton University with the Afghanistan lab. That two universities published that written the article about that rule and regulation that the Taliban is applying now. Now, it's really a kind of slavery rule and slavery law that applying in Afghanistan, and even women are not allowed to go to her family or parents' house. If they are going several times, they will be punished by Taliban. Can you believe to that? The 21st century, this kind of things happen, or in the 21st century, that there is no any other country or any other place that girls cannot go to school. It's forbidden for girls to go to school. So this is unfortunately happening in Afghanistan at this moment, and they already issued 250 decrees. That out of this 250 decree or edicts that the Supreme Leader issued, 130 of them targeting women. This is all about women. So, and also recently they made another regulation that there should be separate room service and at the hospital for men and women. At the same time, we are facing with the shortage of doctor and medical doctor, nurse, midwife, but they are applying such a such a rule that there should be separate service for women and men, and we don't have enough female doctor. So what will be happen to women? No one knows. We can imagine that what will be happen. So I will conclude my remarks with the saying that education is a foundation for women's rights, social and economic development, and global security. So what will be the implication of the denying women from education? What will be the consequence for that? There are two types of consequences that globally we are facing. One is the social, maybe we can say three types. One is the social consequence, and the other one is economic consequence, and the third one is the stability or the political consequence. For example, the economic consequence is if a society or a government can remove or erase the half of population from economy, from the marketplace, what will happen to the economy of that country? The same, if we can imagine that a family can continue from, can be from 5 to 7 people. So before, at least 2 of them, they were working in the marketplace. But now, one person, the husband of the family, is working, and the five others are spending money. So what will be the consequence or outcome of that? It is poverty. And of course, the collapse of economy and the system. So if the half of population, the women, could work in the marketplace, of course, the tax of that half of population, it could be a big income for the government. So this is also affect or will somehow affect the economy of the country. On the long term, as we were the witness during the last time of Taliban, there will be no scale update. So because of no graduation, no school, no university, so skill will not develop and promote. So the future generation will face another problem. Okay, the next one is the social consequence of this denying women and girls from education. We believe that if we can educate a woman, we can educate a society. Because, of course, the educated mother will train the educated children. So that's why it's socially very important. The other problem is this, the women, uneducated women, don't know how to manage the economy of the family. So, and also, unfortunately, the family planning now is a big problem in Afghanistan. It's officially banned. There is no implication of the family planning. If the family planning will not implement or apply, so the number of children will get more and more and more. It is, again, the outcome of that is the poverty. So what will be happen to the international community? Now, WFP, UNHCR, UNHCR, and so many other UN agencies are, seeking for fund how to support Afghan people inside the country. And this winter, it was one of the most vulnerable winter for Afghan people, and everybody was working or, was seeking for fund, especially with the fund cut, it was a big problem. It is not only affecting us, affecting you, affecting all the society and all community and internationally. The other outcome of denying women from education is the educated mother will not allow their children to go for extremism. But uneducated mothers will not care about that. They cannot, differentiate between good and bad. So the number of extremist group will get more and more every day. So when the number of extremist group are getting more, so it is somehow affiliated with the terrorist group as well. Terrorism everywhere are affecting the society and the community. So that's why the consequence of the denying from education in Afghanistan is not only, affecting Afghan people and neighboring country, but everywhere, and globally it will affect. So this is something I want to request. I have some recommendation for you people, and thank you so much for having me. And it's really a pleasure and honor for me to be among all these, university alumni and professor, the faculty member, but even one drop of support can be, can be a big support for Afghan women. So starting from a scholarship, you have seen these young girls and boys that they are with you and studying here, and they came through by a scholarship, and they prove themselves that how their enthusiasm for education. This is one demand from my side. And also, the other demand is that please stay with Afghan women and amplify our voice anywhere that you want, you could do it. And also, please talk through your channel to the policymaker that the Taliban is not a problem for Afghanistan, but it will be a problem for the region, and globally will be a big problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarabi, for your story and your work. I am curious over the generations you spoke of women being educated and restricted, etc. There were fathers and brothers and husbands who lived through that and saw their women being educated and the impact on the society. Are there any voices among the men that are working for this progress for women once again?
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, men are more under pressure by Taliban, but there were some men that they stand for women and especially for girls' education. So if I can name them, I'm sure that you don't know them. There were men, even the Taliban put them in jail for many times that because they have raised their voice. So, I mean, generally, if they are not standing together because of this, all the pressure that they are getting from Taliban. Taliban are very cruel people. They are torturing people. So from the other the member of family that they are bringing some income or the bread for their children, and that to feed them. So if the Taliban can put them in the jail, even their children will be hungry. So that's why this is another problem. But there are not, generally not all of them, but there are some men that stand for women's or girls' education.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, please.
Hi, I was just wondering what you think the most important aspect of like international solidarity that you want the international community to show towards the women in Afghanistan. What do you think is the most important aspect for the international community to show?
I want for international community to have the, similar message for Taliban. Unfortunately, many times that the international community blame us that we don't have the, unified our voice, but there are different messages from the international community as well. There are countries that they are engaging with Taliban a lot, or they even recognize Taliban, because Taliban is not formally recognized. But there are some countries that they recognize Taliban. So if there will be unified message from the international community, and also they can use their leverage for the sanction list. When I'm talking about the sanction, it's not aid sanction. It is the sanction for Taliban figure or the Taliban leaders. Some of them even they are traveling in different country. So that's why if that sanction can be applied a little bit stronger and freeze their asset. So this is something that can be happen and can work.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, yes. After her, Omar.
So you shared that education in Afghanistan for girls are very difficult, that in some distant places in Afghanistan you could not even find a girl who could have educated until 9th grade. So I'm interested to know how it was for you to educate in Afghanistan as an Afghan woman, what difficulties you faced.
Good question. When I'm talking about the girls that they cannot get education, I'm talking for very, very remote area, very, very remote area. I'm not sure if you have seen Yakaulang or Bamyan, that this is very mountainous area, full of mountain, and accessibility is one of the big problem. Of course, people are living cluster-wise. Some family, for example, 10, 12 family in some place and 10, 12, 15 families some other place. It's a very remote area. It is very difficult to, to build a school for each, each community. And there is no transportation system for those community. I have seen, when I was the Minister of Women Affairs, I had a visit in United States, and I went, I think, by plane to some other state on the west, and I have seen all these community that it's very separately located in cluster-wise in different part. And one of my question was that how their children can go to school. What is the education system in school? And the person gave me the answer. There is the school bus for them that they can pick children from one community to other community and take them to school. But in Afghanistan, there was no such a facility. So for primary school or elementary school, it was possible that up to third grade, even they could go to the mosque and study alphabet and then go gradually. But a little bit when I get higher, it was difficult, especially for girls, because for long distance, the girls couldn't go to the school. However, I have very, harsh experience the time that I was going to school. But as I said, I had the motivation, and my mother was supporting me. So I was studied in Gulbahar, if you have heard the primary school or the elementary school. And when I wanted to go to school, I was passing from a bazaar, a marketplace. So mostly the boy children, they were, harassing me. But I didn't stop. I didn't stop and continued to go to get education. And the city, at the city level, it was there are much more facility. And so, especially during the Republic area, there were a lot of facility for girls and boys to go to school and get education.
Omar.
Hi, thank you for coming. I wanted to ask you more about what you expect from us as this current generation of students in the international community to help out with fighting and advocating for women's rights in Afghanistan.
I'm sorry, if you can repeat again.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you what you expect from us and how could we, as the current generation of students, like in the international sphere, to help out with advocating for the women of Afghanistan.
Oh, that's great. That's a good question. So, make a network. Please make a network with Afghan students. They need some solidarity. They need cooperation. They need solidarity with you. So within this solidarity and networking, you can find their problem, and I'm sure that they will share their problem. And also, you can encourage the other people, the rich people, to donate the online program. There are some good online program in Afghanistan going on. So this is another type of support. And the policymaker, your representative especially, you people can share with your representative that they are, politically put pressure to Taliban.
Thank you. I have a question. Can you just name some of the achievements the Afghan women achieved over the 20 years under the Republic government? Like some of them?
Yes, I do. So one of the biggest achievements, during the first era of Taliban, the number of girls enrollment in the school was zero. Mm-hmm. But during the Republic, so that percentage got up to more than 40%. So thousands of girls, they got higher education. Before, I'm not sure that how many people got the PhD, but recently I don't have even the number, because it's a big number of young generation that they've got a master degree, PhD from different university. From United States, from the European country, from Turkey. So having women in the military section, because it's a military police or military, both of them, they are protecting our dignity. So we women are a part of that dignity. We have to be a part of that. And the Women, Peace and Security agenda were supposed to implement in Afghanistan. It was another achievement. And having the Ministry of Women Affairs and the High Commission for Human Rights, these were the other achievement that we had. Women in Parliament, 26%. Women in the civil servant was also 27%. So these were the achievement that women had during 20 years.
Yes, please.
Thank you for coming. And it was a pleasure speaking with you at lunch today. And you answered this question, but I thought it would be great for the audience as well. But what keeps you motivated in life in general, but also to continue this work?
For the first time when I was young, of course, my mother was motivated me. My mother life, because she was suffered a lot, and her suffer was a motivation for me that how to help her, how I can be a good daughter for her. And when she received the letter from her brother, I can be able to read that letter to her, because she was, of course, a mother can feel mostly closely to the daughter rather than the husband. Or this is the first motivation was that, and of course the environment that I have seen. I'm sharing one of my story from my neighbor that a lady who was a husband and wife and had one son. She came to our house, and one side of her face was got as lacquer spot.
Yeah, spots.
Spot. So it was dark in one part of her face. I asked that, why, auntie, your face is like that? And she told me that my husband beaten me. And I said that, you didn't say anything to your husband? And she told me that because he is the owner of the house, and he is feeding us, that's why we cannot say something against him. It was a kind of, nail that came to my mind, to my brain, that if you cannot be independent, so this is the way that you are facing in the future. So how you can be independent if you can get education? So the life of the people who are around me, that one motivate me a lot. And now, during the first era of Taliban, I also used to go to different university and municipality and even high school for such a lecture to share the situation of Afghan women. On that time, unfortunately, there was no internet, there was no Facebook and Instagram and this social media. So the media was totally, silent for Afghanistan. We had to go from, of course, I was not alone. There were so many Afghan women, they had to go. And so sometimes, and I'm doing again, after 25 years, I'm repeating that. Sometimes when I go to the United Nations or the Security Council member for some side event and meeting, so I'm repeating the same thing, like an old record, repeating the same thing. And so how it can change the mindset of the people, I don't know. But anyway, I have to do it because this is, I think, my obligation. I have to be the voice of my sisters and daughters that they are inside the country.
Thank you, Jose.
Hi. You are probably right now under a lot of pressure, and I wanted to ask you, how would you tell other people that want to help out other women that are also Afghan to step up for themselves and be as independent and fight for their rights.
چه رقم تو خودتان که بسیار مستقل بودن چه رقم به کسی که میگن که مستقل باشه از یک جای سخت بکشه.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes my English is not so good because, yeah, there's to be independent. It's sometimes, of course, the background of family is very important. We are grown up, and sometimes the difficulty or trauma will give us pressurize. But sometimes, it is a kind of when we face with trauma, with the difficulties, with harsh time, it gives us a lot of strength and power to motivate ourselves. So if you have seen some plants that even they are growing from the stone, from the rock, have you seen it? Something like that? The Afghan people are like that, or especially Afghan women, and myself, because of practicing so many difficulties and hard time. So it's a kind of survival.
Thank you. Dr. Valentina.
Hello, and I just want to say thank you again for being here as well. This is fantastic. I have so many questions for you, but I will ask just two very simple ones. First, I'm just personally curious. Before you were able to read, did your mother ever find anyone or have anyone that could read the letters from her brother to her? And maybe even...
So, my apologies, if you can repeat again.
Did your mother ever find somebody, before you could read, did your mother have someone that could read the letters from her brother to her so she knew?
Oh, unfortunately, only her husband, my father, who was not very kind.
So she got letters and she never knew what they said.
She couldn't read, yeah. She couldn't read that, but mostly giving to my father that can read.
I love that that was your motivation. My second question is, you had mentioned previously that there are some agencies and support groups in Afghanistan that are helping women, that you had said, find some of those and we could help. And I'm just wondering if you might be able to share, not necessarily maybe on stage, but if you had a list that you could share with Huria and she could share with the rest of us, maybe that would be wonderful.
Oh, it will be.
It's hard to know.
Yeah, it will be great if I can find that. There is a very intelligent Afghan lady in UK, in London, Shakar Dokhtar Jafari. And she is inventor and invented instrument for how to reduce the X-ray or X-ray, yes, for the cancer. So she also initiated an online program. This is even last week I introduced or registered my niece. She is in Afghanistan, and I was not able to help her for a long time. But that program also needs a kind of a scholarship. For example, bringing when they will get the certificate from London. Has some affiliation with the London college, one of the London college. So Ellen University can be one of them, for example. Why not? Somehow to get support. Of course, I will talk with Huria about that.
Thank you. If you're going to have dinner with Dr. Sarabi, can you ask your questions during that, because people want to leave? I'm sorry, I just don't want to take people's time. Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry. Two people who had questions, they're gonna have dinner with her. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarabi. گفتم که نانشب هستن.
Okay, sorry. Sometimes I cannot understand very well. Thank you so much for being with us, and it's such a pleasure to be among you. And all the best. Wish you all the best and success.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for being here.